No spoilers for the review, but I'm feeling pretty split on my opinion about this figure. My jokes are bad, I know. Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back for another Transformers action figure review, and today we're going to be reviewing the Transformers Legacy number 1 of 5 Dragstrip from the Stunticons that will eventually combine into a new Legacy Menaor. So anyway, let's just get right on into the figure by starting with the packaging. I really do like this figure. Taking a quick look at the packaging, nice image here of Dragstrip in his alternate mode. It says Transformers Legacy Decepticon Dragstrip here on the side. Nice mugshot of Dragstrip up there with a nice image of him right down there. Hasbro Transformers Generations Dakara. And right here it says Transformers Legacy, and then right here it says 1 of 5 for Menaor. Here on the side, nice Decepticon image there. Authentic Transformers! Here on the back, got the obligatory product shots and all that cool stuff. Again, that 1 of 5 Menaor, and here is his stats. And when you come into the app here, it'll come onto Hasbro's website. There's a nice little GIF right there of Dragstrip firing his guns. It says that his name is Dragstrip. It says he's a Decepticon. His alt mode's a race car, function warrior, special unit Stunticon, origin universe G1. And then it looks like he's got a signature weapon is a Gravito Blaster. And in his bio here, it says, to Dragstrip, winning is everything. He would rather be scrapped than lose, and combines with the other Stunticons to form Menaor. His strength is a 6, his intelligence is a 7, his speed is a 7, and his firepower is also a 7. And then here is the barcode, and that is basically it for the packaging. Dragstrip comes with this pair of Dark Energon-infused guns, but gravity guns, like in the bio, but honestly, they don't actually really do anything other than that they're painted purple, and honestly, they don't really look like Energon-infused, they just look like purple and black guns. But then again, the main gimmick here is that this guy combines. And just like the owner of these guns can also combine together into a little double-barreled pistol. So that's just a nice little thing you can do with those right there. And as for weapon storage on the robot mode, you obviously can just come here to the back and just plug these guns in on his back in these little 5mm ports. And so there you go for your weapon storage. And here is taking a look at Dragstrip's head sculpt here. Love the visor. I like the red and purple helmet there. Nice silver in the face. Always appreciate that silver paint in the face. And overall, very nice head sculpt coming down to the torso. I love the silver there in the chest, kind of giving it the engine. Really gives a lot of depth to the figure. And overall, this guy is just cast mostly out of this yellow plastic, and he looks kind of plain without a whole lot of painting going on. This guy would have really benefited from some panel lining. The only bits of kibble on this guy is these little bits that hang over on the shoulders there, but honestly, it's not that big an issue. And as you can see, Dragstrip's a bit empty in the head, but that does play into the transformation, and that it's not a cost-cutting measure, though I'm pretty sure that's just the excuse that Hasbro uses. And I guess these little bits of wheels right here are also bits of kibble, but they honestly don't bug me as much as the shoulders. But overall, it doesn't really bug me all that much. My main complaint is that this guy looks a bit plain. I would have liked some of this kind of like dark mustardy yellow kind of scattered throughout, or even more bits of red kind of scattered throughout, and it would have made this guy look less plain. But overall, I do think he looks fine just on his own, because this is technically G1 accurate. The head is just on a swivel joint. It's not on a ball joint, so it just swivels left to right. The shoulders can rotate a full 360 even with that kibble. It also can shift to accommodate, can move in and out. And this little bit can shift up and down. Bicep swivel. Not over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Nothing at the wrist. The waist can rotate. Hips can move forward. They can move back. They can move outward. Thigh rotation. 90 degrees of bend at the knee. The ankles can move back due to transformation. And he can pivot. So very nice articulation on Dragstrip. And overall, the proportions on this guy don't really bug me. My only issue is I feel like the thighs are just a tiny bit too small and the shins are a bit too long. I would have liked them just to kind of even out the legs just a little bit more. But honestly, it doesn't really bug me that much. Also, something I wanted to mention, this technically is supposed to play into his combined form in his vehicle mode, but there's a little slot right back here that you want to just kind of take a pair of scissors or a little thin piece of plastic and push that. And that will allow you to split the guy in half. And the reason why I mention this right now is because I guess you could call this a play feature where you can make this guy look like he got blasted or chopped in half, so his top half and his legs kind of fall apart. This guy wasn't half the bot he used to be. And for some robot and for his size comparisons, here is Dragstrip with the Legacy Kickback, the last Transformers Legacy figure I reviewed. Be sure to check out that video if you missed out on that. And here is Dragstrip compared next to the old Combiner Wars Dragstrip. But the only thing I like about this figure still is that this figure still had more bits of red all throughout, and I would have liked to have seen that on this guy. But honestly, it doesn't really bug me all that much. And now we'll get into Dragstrip's vehicle mode transformation. And here is the new Transformers Legacy Dragstrip in his vehicle mode. So yeah, just getting into some of those details just right off the bat. As you can see, the hollow head kind of is right here, and it's meant to look like there is a seat right there, so it actually does play into the transformation, but I'm assuming it was just a cost-cutting measure for Hasbro. I like the silver paint here on the engine, and also right there in the front. I like how the halves come together for a Decepticon symbol in the front with the 2 red stripes. And again, I feel like the colors in the vehicle mode look a lot better in the robot mode, because the red and this like off yellow is more prominent, and the black on the tires. There's no silver or anything in the tires. I would have liked that, but honestly, it could have been used more for the robot mode. But honestly, no kibble on the vehicle mode whatsoever. Like, nothing is really noticeable. Even the head being backwards isn't even that noticeable. And this mode is low to the ground, but it rolls really well. And I really love the way how this vehicle mode came out. So far, this is probably one of my favorite, like, Decepticon vehicle modes for, like, a car mode in a while. And just briefly mentioning, again, you want to split that in half while it's in vehicle mode. And now that allows for this guy to split in half like this, and I'm assuming the way how that works is this piece will go on to Menasor's shoulder, and this will go on to his forearm, and so the elbow joint will be right there in the middle, so this guy will form on top of the arm, because back in the 80s it was just a car tacked on, which I'm assuming you still can do, because you can just combine this and then just stick the car on his arm. But obviously with that right there, it'll allow you to split him in half to have a more cohesive looking robot mode for the Combiner. So anyway, just wanted to mention about that as well. And here is Dragstrip compared next to the bug mode of Kickback. Obviously these are in scale. Sarcasm. And here's the new Legacy Dragstrip's vehicle mode compared to the old Combiner Wars Dragstrip's vehicle mode. This one, I still do think this is a good vehicle mode for Dragstrip. I just really prefer the charm of this one. Part of me still wishes that the robot mode had a lot more paint, because then I would appreciate it just as much as I appreciate this over this. But because of the lack of color, it makes me appreciate the colors on this one more than this one. And I kind of wish that the Legacy one made me feel that way. But then again, I could just go in and paint it up myself. But who's got the time for that? And that is basically it for my review on the Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Dragstrip. And so far, just like Insecticon Kickback, it is making me excited to see what they're going to do for this new Combiner Menasaur. But first of all, we need to actually see what the Motormaster and some of the other team members look like. But as of right now, this is getting me hyped up for the new Combiner, and I cannot wait to see how it turns out. But as for this figure on his own, I do feel like he could have used a little bit more paint in the robot mode, and that's my biggest complaint. He's just a little bit too plain. But, and also my other issue is that I feel like his hips are a little bit too short for his shins. He can't even do the kneeling pose. He can't even, like, it feels like his shins are a little too long for his own good. So I either would have preferred for him to either have double jointed knees, or for him to have the hips be longer and the shins just a little bit shorter, just to get those knees a little bit more even. But to be completely honest, it's still a fun toy, and it still hasn't bothered me from even having fun with this figure. I still have a lot of fun messing around and posing this figure. Those are just some minor critiques. In the vehicle mode, nothing to complain about. I love the vehicle mode. So yeah, if I had to give this figure a rating, I give him a solid 9 out of 10. Just those little nitpicks, just like the other figures that I've talked about. So far, each of these Legacy figures have gotten a 9 out of 10. The only reason is because they all have these tiny little nitpicks that bug me, and this guy is no exception. Hopefully, some of the other Legacy figures I get later on will not have the same problem. But, as of right now, this guy's 9 out of 10. So, my opinion might change, and I'll give an overall rating to the actual Combiner set when I have all of them. But as of right now, this guy's 9 out of 10. Thank y'all for watching. This has been Briximus Prime. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, be sure to give me a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and to my Lego channel and yada yada yada. And I thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.